for work travel, media work travel in the United States in 2026, when I got an email that my B1, B2 visa had been revoked, and telling me that should I wish to travel to the United States, I will need to reapply for a new one, which came as a bit of a shock because I couldn't understand what were the reasons for it when I received the email on the 9th of October. But since this morning, or last night for those in the United States, since 2 a.m. this morning, standard South African Standard Time, I then saw the posts from the State Department saying that I was the only South African whose visa was revoked for comments about Charlie Kirk. I in no way made light of his death or would make light of political violence in any way. I come from one of the most violent countries in the world, I think rivaled by countries like Colombia and Mexico when it comes to, I think the US is significantly worse here. I don't think we rival it. But our murder rate is very high. I think we have 45 murders per 100,000 population in South Africa. My hometown, or my home province, which is like similar to like a bunch of counties put together, smaller than states, but my home province is Gauteng province, and we use the abbreviation GP for it, and that GP does not stand for Gauteng province. It stands for Gangsters Paradise. Yes. Yeah, of South Africa has been taken by Cape Town as a city. So we've got a lot of violence in the country. We've got so much political violence that we even have a special police task team to investigate political killings and political violence, which caused controversy earlier this year on the 6th of July, when it was announced by one of the police commanders or police chiefs that the Minister of Police, which is like what would be the secretary and in the cabinet in the US, the Minister of Police had been taking money and exchanging favors with criminal cartels, and that our entire criminal justice system, from the justices and magistrates to the criminal prosecutors, or what would be called I guess attorney generals in the US, to the actual law enforcers and policemen, are completely at the pockets of criminal networks all over South Africa. Yes, and that has caused a lot of controversy. So political violence is something that we know all too well, and
right.
I also understand.
So when had you made that comment, the one that was posted?
On the comment that I posted was on September 11th. So yeah, it followed the death of a Ukrainian refugee at the hands of a serial felon or serial offender, an African American serial offender. So for the week and a half before Charlie Kirk's death, there was a lot of posts, lots of racist posts targeting especially African men. And because of the anger, or noticeable anger, of people at that heinous crime, and the fact that we saw it because it was recorded on closed circuit television, I understood the reason for such an emotional response, and I didn't take it as being a racist attack. I just saw it as people objecting to the high levels of violent crime in the United States, which we know about because they're reported widely all over the world. In light of that, I made this post in the context that a lot of opponents of Charlie Kirk, or people that have differing political views than his, came out mocking his death and the irony of him speaking about gang and gun violence, which he had, which gang and gun violence, right? Which he didn't assist himself in advocating for gun rights. And that was the context, is that he was advocating for gun rights, speaking about gun violence, and then became a victim of the same gun violence, which his opponents object to and have been demanding stricter gun controls and stricter laws controlling the usage and the ownership of guns in the United States of different categories.
So, just so I don't have to edit your clip, because it's going to be a short clip, can we go back to where you said on September 11th, I made a comment, I posted a comment, was it on Twitter, right? It was on X.
Yeah, on X.
And in it, in no way did I make light of Charlie Kirk's death, but I simply was making a point that Charlie Kirk was himself, you know, a gun advocate, and then he fell to gun violence. Is that what you were trying to say in that post?
Okay,
right?
Yeah, so what I was saying in that post is that the people that are condemning the opponents of Charlie Kirk, either mocking or celebrating his death, did nothing to condemn the racist attacks that all African men, especially African American men, experienced online as a result of the savage and brutal killing of a Ukrainian woman refugee on the DC Metro, which you know I've taken. I still have my DC Metro card.
I'm just trying to make it easier for audiences to understand, because not everybody follows the Ukrainian death or all of that. So if we could just be sort of saying, as you were saying, you're saying this is, I did not in any way make light of it. I was just pointing out the hypocrisy of the fact that people, you know, were attacking post Charlie Kirk's death. We're attacking people who were making light of it while they were doing exactly that when there was other attacks happening, and him falling victim of gun violence, which he himself resisted and was very much against any gun control. So you were just trying. I'm just trying to see if we can, without having to explain the entire Ukrainian thing.
Yeah. Well, I can put it even more simply. I can even put it more simply. Basically, the context of my tweet.
Before you get to the context, though, I just want you to start with saying, in the post that I wrote, I didn't make light of his death in any way. So if that could be your starting point, so then we could go to what the context was. We're trying to make it like a 30-second soundbite.
No, that's fine. I can do it then. So in my X post, which is the offending post, I did not make light of Charlie Kirk's death. Charlie Kirk, however, made light of George Floyd's death. And as a black man, I do object to the racist attacks that we face as a result of the myth that there is some sort of white genocide happening around the world, or there's some sort of victimhood that white males, whether they be from the United States or anywhere else in the world, even in South Africa, are now claiming as a result of changing dynamics in global geopolitics, where Western powers are waning and the East is rising and gaining supremacy over the previous colonial powers that ruled the world.
So, in it, you were basically saying the text of it, which is saying that you also accuse him of being, you know, leading a white supremacist
movement. Yes.
Movement. Yes. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, Turning Point USA is a white supremacist movement, or it's masquerading as a white supremacist movement. It has now become abundantly clear that it is more of an Israel lobby under America First banners. And Turning Point USA's whole campus tour, where they'd chart Charlie around to go and debate people on campuses, stopped at some point in the UK at Oxford University, where he made light of colonialism and apartheid's effect on South Africans, in particular native South Africans, and also continued to speak about this, I guess, psyop of white genocide that is purported to be happening in South Africa, which is a country in Africa where white people live very comfortable lives and live happily with everyone of other races, even though their existences are in parallel and only intersect at places where the entire community needs together.
Right. And what went through your mind when you saw the tweet? What was your emotions like at that moment? By the State Department, I mean.
Yeah, it was a relief, because when I got the email about the revocation, I did not know what the reasons were. But when I saw the tweet, I then saw that this is a laughable reason. And it put the email that I received into context.
And how does that make you feel about Donald Trump administration and their policies?
Well, I think Donald Trump's administration is running out of feet to shoot itself in. And this action is another instance in which they're shooting themselves in the foot.
In what way?
The fact that it's completely hypocritical. They claim to be champions of free speech, especially on platforms like X, which is owned by a so-called free speech absolutist, Elon Musk, who actually grew up in my hometown and home city. In fact, Elon Musk spent a lot of his life in Lone Hill Fourways, which is, where I grew up, where my family resides. And it's part of the greater city of Sandton, which is also known as the richest square mile in Africa.
Right. So what is your plan? Are you going to apply again? Are you going to...
Yeah, when I'm due to travel again, I'll reapply, but I'll be applying for a different visa this time because I'll be traveling to do some work.
And do you expect them to grant that visa?
Yes, I expect them to grant that visa, but should there be any challenges to that, I don't think the reasons for the revocation would hold up if there were reasons to litigate the matter. And I think that a competent immigration lawyer will be able to persuade State Department officials that the reasons for the revocation of my visa were frivolous.
Right. And how do you like you to be described? Like, should we call you a musician or some sort of...
No, a music and media executive.
You're a music and media executive. And when was the last time you were in the U.S.?
2023.
22. So this visa you hadn't used for about 2 years?
Yes.
Okay. And you were just about to use it again?
Well, next year.
Next year, 2026.
Yeah, the year of the World Cup in Mexico, Canada, and the United States.
Yeah.
Which South Africa qualified for just yesterday.
Yes, I actually saw that.
Before these news dampened my spirits.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'll find a way to be waving my flag in the stadiums
Yes,
next summer.
exactly. All right. Well,
that's if
thank you
Mandami
for
becomes
taking
the
this time.
mayor and is able to bring down the tickets.
Yes, I hope so. That's
You
one of the
better hope
plans.
so. Aren't you in New York?
I am. I
Yeah.
desperately want to go see the game.
I mean,
Yes. So great. I will.